get the data, put it into your spreadsheet. Your spreadsheet, in theory, if you've got it correct, you should be able to spit out the numbers within the space of seconds. Well, my spreadsheet, all I have to do is put in the purchase price and the rental income, and it calculates everything else for me. It's pretty much dynamic in that respect. Hi guys, it's Arsh here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top tips as to the things that you should be doing before purchasing a property. And if you follow these tips, you shouldn't go wrong. Before we do that, I want to say a quick hello to all listeners and all subscribers around the world. Hopefully you enjoy the videos, and more importantly, if you can, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Every time I release a video, you get notified of it. As always, as I say on every video, my channel is sponsored by the Property Investor app, which is the UK's first property investment platform, which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK. Whether you're looking for that below market value deal, that rent to rent deal, that lease option deal, we've got them all there. Go and check us out. So you can either go to the website, which is propertyinvestораpp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. Now, let's get straight into it. When you're looking to purchase a property, lots of people, let's go through the normal process. They see a property, they probably see it on somewhere like Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market, one of the portals. They may use other platforms to go direct to vendor, and then instantly they make an offer. And then as a result of making the offer, without doing any further research, they then go off and start submitting all their paperwork, which means that they're then incurring costs with legal costs, mortgage valuation costs. I want to say stop right there, because not many people do the research before they get to that stage. So I'm going to talk to you almost like a mind dump and a step-by-step process of the things that I do. Now, first thing that I do, if I see a property, and let's just imagine it is online, because a lot of properties are online. So first thing that you do, you find the property. Second thing that you do, you probably speak to the agent. And when you speak to the agent now, this is probably the most important part of research that you do. Even before you get to go to the viewing, I suggest you don't do a viewing until you're fully happy with all the information that you receive. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, why do I want the information if I don't like the property? You could reverse that and say, well, why do I want to go and view a property if I don't like the information? And that's what I kind of do, because I think that if I'm going to go and view a property, I'm investing my time in it. More importantly, I'm having to travel somewhere. And if that property is, let's say, half an hour, by the time I've gone there, that's half an hour. By the time I've spent an hour at the viewing and then come back, that's 2 hours pretty much gone. Now, I'm going to see if I can use my time wisely and do all my desktop research first before going and do the physical viewing. Some may approve of this, others may not, but hopefully you stick with me and see my logic here. So first thing that I do, I ask the agent, is the property income producing? How much is it producing? Who are the tenants in there? How long have they been living there? Now, if the property is a multi-let or something of that nature, has it got a HMO license? Has it got planning permission? How many tenants are currently in there? What kind of tenants are in there? How much is the property generating? So these are some of the questions that I ask. Have you got the ASTs? Have you got a copy of the license? Let me see that before I start investing any further time in that. And the reason why I ask these is because what it's doing, it's showing the agent that I'm actually an experienced investor and I know what I'm looking for. So I'm saying to the agent, before I come over and view, I just want to make sure that it ticks all my boxes. Because remember, as property investors, we should have a checklist of all the things that we're looking for our perfect property. So once the agent comes back to us, now I should say, for those that perhaps skim through listings on Rightmove and Zoopla, a lot of the information will be on the platform. So you have to read through it. So for argument's sake, you can see, has it got a floor plan? If you've seen a floor plan, can you see the rooms? How big are the rooms? If they're not on the floor plan, can you see it in the description? Have a look through the description. Can you pull the measurements out from the description? So the reason why I say that is that if I can do a lot of the research before I actually call the agents, I might be saving myself and the agent's time as well. So I do all that research beforehand. Then if there's information about the rentals in the listings, I don't need to ask that question. If they've got details about the license or whether they've shown it's a license, I can go to other platforms to get the license. So, if we can do this before calling the agent, it will save everyone a load of work. You might determine it's not for you after doing this information. after gathering this information, should I say. Now, once I've got the information, once I've got the rental income, next thing that I do, I put it into my cash flow calculator. Now, my cash flow calculator pretty much determines what the purchase price is, how much am I going to need for a deposit, stamp duty, legal fees. I potentially put some initial costs in there for refurb costs. I then put in the rental income. It then calculates what my mortgage cost is going to be, calculates what my management costs are going to be. We put in a contingency for voids, bad debt, and as a result, it gives me my net cash flow. It gives me my net cash flow if I was going to manage it myself or if I'm going to give it over to an agency. Now, as a result of that, instantly I can have a look at what my return on investment is. I can have a look at what my break-even point is. I can also have a look to see, is there potential to refinance this on a commercial basis? And am I going to be able to get some of my money back out? Or am I going to have to leave money in? If so, how much money am I going to have to leave into the deal? As a result, how long is it going to take me to recoup that money as well? So there's lots of things that my calculator does for me, but in order for that calculator to work efficiently, I need to have the data, which is the stuff that I've asked for the agent or I've gathered beforehand. Now, off the back of that, if my calculator turns around and says, yes, it's healthy on the cash flow, yes, it's got a good ROI, and yes, potentially I have the option to refinance and pull my money out, then yes, I'm now going to call the agent and arrange a viewing. And as a result of that, I'm going to the property more educated than probably a lot, let's say 99% of the other investors going there. So therefore, I'm in a much better position to make an offer should I like the property. Now remember, this information that you're collating is not going to take days. In theory, it should take the best part of an hour. So I'm not saying that we're wasting, days collating it and then come to a conclusion where it doesn't work. I'm saying spend an hour, get the data, put it into your spreadsheet. Your spreadsheet, in theory, if you've got it correct, you should be able to spit out the numbers within the space of seconds. Well, my spreadsheet, all I have to do is put in the purchase price and the rental income, and it calculates everything else for me. It's pretty much dynamic in that respect. I would say that I'm going to give you a copy of my spreadsheet, but the reality is it's taken me a long time to create that. So if you do want a copy of that, I've never done this before, but you can buy it off me. Go to my website, which is arshalahi.com/contact, and in the inquiry sheet say, Arsh, I'd like to inquire about purchasing your spreadsheet, and I can send you that. So the cost of the spreadsheet, I haven't even thought about this. Believe it or not, let's put a nominal figure of 30 quid on there. So £30 you can buy my spreadsheet. Normally, if you come on a course, etc., that's included within the course, but the cost of the course is the best part of £1,000. But if you want to buy the spreadsheet, you can buy it for £30. That wasn't even part of this YouTube channel, by the way. So moving on. So we've done the data analysis. We've done the spreadsheet. That's pretty much said either yes or no. We then go to the viewing. At the viewing, we then just make sure that the property is what it says it is, the property is in decent condition, and as a result of that, we can then make the offer. Now, when we're at the viewing, the next thing that I want to do is understand a little bit more about the property. So yes, we've done the desktop analysis. Now we need to do the physical analysis. This is looking at the property, touching and feeling, conditions, meeting the tenants, having a look at what's in place, what's not in place, other things that the agent missed out on their description, and go from there. Other thing, I want to speak to agents within the location, and you can probably do this before you get to viewing in reality, is that you want to speak to lots of agents. Don't just speak to the one person that's selling the property, because reality is they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear. Now, off the back of that, I try and speak to 4, 5, maybe even 6 agents. And what I'm trying to understand is the price that I'm paying realistic? Are we buying it on a bricks and mortar value, or are we buying it on a commercial value? Now, I appreciate that we're going to probably start getting into some slightly advanced stuff when it comes to purchasing properties here, but stick with me. So are we buying it on a bricks and mortar? Are we buying this in accordance to values of other properties on the street, or are we now buying it on a commercial value? Is it an inflated value based on the income? Now, if it's a commercial value, at what basis does this property warrant a commercial value? What we're trying to say to ourselves is, why am I paying more than what a normal house for the bricks and mortar is worth? And more importantly, is a valuer, so if I'm going to go off and get a mortgage for this property, is the valuer, the mortgage valuer, going to share the estate agent's vision for this purchase price? So if one house on the road is worth let's say 100,000, and now we're trying to buy this property for 130,000, so it's been increased by £30,000. Is it going to value up at 130,000, or is a surveyor going to turn around and say, sorry guys, this house is only worth 100,000, which means that we're going to be left with a deficit of 30,000, which means that if I really want to buy this property, I'm going to have to put the 30,000 deficit into this deal, which then I have to go back to my calculator and consult, is it still a good deal or not? Because the capital input has now increased massively by £30,000. That has happened to me in the past, and there's been scenarios where I've turned around and said, sorry guys, no deal. There've been other scenarios where I've turned around and said, you know what, to be fair, it's still a deal, let's do it. So all depends on you, your appetite, and what your vision is for the property. Now, moving forward, other things that I want to know when I speak to the agents is all the information that a valuer is going to want to know before offering me a mortgage or an offer on the property. So we're looking at what's the sales comparables, what's the sold comparables, what's the letting comparables, how much information can they provide me? Because the last thing that I want to do is start spending money on a property, and I bet loads of you have done this, start spending money on a property for it to fall down on valuation. I want to be able to go on the valuation day to meet the surveyor and say, guys, okay, yeah, I'm buying it for 100,000 or 130,000 pounds, but here's the justification, or here's all the comparable evidence that you require to confirm the value. And this is the data that he, in theory, or she, should be collating by doing their research. And this is the stuff that they would do. So we go to the same resources that they would go to, and therefore we've done all their research for them. Off the back of that, they say, yeah, okay, I understand where all the values come from. Yes, valued at £130,000. Here's your mortgage offer, and we go forward. Now, this makes everyone happy. So it makes the estate agents happy because they've generated sale. It makes the vendor happy because they've sold their property. It makes me happy because I've not wasted money on a valuation that's not going anywhere. More importantly, I've now acquired a property, and ultimately everyone wins. Estate agents are not going to quibble about you spending a couple of days on collating this data, especially if you clarify the reason why we're doing this, to make sure that the valuation definitely stacks up. And so as a result of that, I definitely suggest that you take the steps in this video and use them for your next property purchase, and feel free to let me know how you get on. Again, go to my website, which is arshilahi.com/contact. Send me a little message and just say, Arsh, hopefully I've used the tips in your video and it worked great. Or Arsh, it didn't work so great, it got downvalued. And let's have a chat about that. So there we have it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed that video. As I said, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It'll really help me. Now, moving forward, as I said at the start of this video is sponsored by the Property Investor app. So if you are looking for your next investment deal, go and check us out. You can either go to our website, which is propertyinvestораpp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. As well as that, you want more free content? I've got a podcast that I release every Tuesday at 6 a.m. It's called The Property Rebel, and it's 15 minutes of golden information that you won't hear anywhere else. Go and check it out. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. They're just 4 of the main platforms that we're on. So go there, search for The Property Rebel, and hopefully have a listen and enjoy. And if you can leave me a review, that would be much appreciated. Finally, you want to get social? Let's do that. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, and TikTok. I'm now a talker. Tocker. Is that what the kids call it nowadays? Well, anyway, I'm on TikTok. Go and find me, all under the handle of Arsh. So there we have it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you've really taken something away from it. Lots of golden nuggets in there. Take the steps, use them wisely, and watch and reap the rewards. On that note, I wish you all to be safe, well, and happy. And I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.